Okay, I should start this video by just acknowledging how cool Mace Windu is. The most badass moment in Star Wars for me is still when he took out an entire squadron of battle droids in the Clone Wars prequel series without his lightsaber. Not to mention, he has his own specific lightsaber color based solely off the rule of cool and not wanting to say no to Samuel L. Jackson. But he's also kind of everything that's wrong with the Jedi Order. Let me explain. One of the reasons Windu is so cool is because he's very calm and collected, which is pretty typical of the Jedi. But it's sort of this lack of emotion that's one of the reasons why the Jedi Order fell. And for a good example of that, I want to look at Boba Fett's arc in Season 2 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. In it, a young Boba Fett tries to assassinate Mace as revenge for killing his dad, Jango. He fails, of course, but he comes pretty close, and in doing so, he destroys an entire cruiser and kills several clones. And Mace, to put it mildly, has a very calm response. He tells Anakin that he has no intention of tracking down Boba and bringing him to justice, claiming that they have bigger things to worry about. Which is pretty strange, considering this is a murderer who he has personal ties to. It really seems like it would be worth his time. He's just so uncaring that instead of wanting to take revenge and catch him, he kinda just lets Boba go as far as he's concerned. But that's not even what I really want to talk about, it's just something I noticed in the process. When Boba is finally captured, they have this interaction.
I see now I've done terrible things. But you started when you murdered my father. I'll never forgive you.
Well, you're going to have to.
Reminder, he decapitated this little kid's father in front of him, and you don't even think you should give him some kind of comfort? Look, I know, Boba tried to kill him, and so did Jango for that matter, so I'm not asking for an apology. But just something, anything, any kind of acknowledgement of sorrow to maybe help Boba get over his issues. And I think this demonstrates one of the main problems with the Jedi Order pretty nicely. They were just too disconnected from their emotions, having been taught that attachment and love are paths to the dark side. This really inhibited their ability to be peacekeepers and really good guys in general, as they always took a very cold, uncaring approach to very human issues. Mace Windu is just such a frustrating character, because again, he's so cool. He's even played by one of the best actors out there, who just decided to take a fun role because he wanted to be a Jedi. That's awesome. But in so many ways, he reflects the absolute worst of the Jedi. In Revenge of the Sith, he helps to turn Anakin to the dark side by trying to kill Palpatine himself instead of giving him a fair trial in the Senate, as is the law. And while I also definitely don't blame him here either, Palpatine just killed 3 Jedi after all, it helps to solidify Anakin's viewpoint that the Jedi aren't really much better than the Sith. Sure, they claim to be lawful peacekeepers, but they're just as willing to break the law and kill when it's beneficial. Just like all the Jedi, he's awesome, but he has too many underlying issues that ultimately led to his inevitable destruction.